My uncle's whole family used house-sitting as an excuse to take over my luxury villa in the countryside. They wore my custom-tailored suits worth tens of thousands, out to work in the fields, and cooked ribs using my top-shelf wine. My aunt even yanked out all the rare orchids from my greenhouse and fed them to the pigs, just to make room to plant green onions. I was furious and rushed back to confront them, only to get mowed down by my cousin in a farming tricycle. Now I've been reborn on the exact day my villa was just completed. I spent the night quietly lending my greenhouse to the Agricultural Research Institute and moved all the rare orchids out. I replaced them with a batch of Class A classified GMO research plants, not only worth tens of millions in research funding, but loaded with extremely potent hallucinogens and neurotoxins. Once that was done, I plastered warning signs all over the greenhouse. Research facility, enter at your own risk. But I knew my aunt. There was no way she could keep her hands off that greenhouse. I mean, this is a $5 million villa, more than enough for them to show off in front of the whole village. Lin Chen, open this door. You little punk, you make a little money and suddenly forget your own family? I always knew these relatives were shameless, but I never thought they'd go this far, draining every cent I had and then trying to kill me. Good thing I got another shot at life, or these leeches would have already broken down my door by now. Mom, I don't care, I want to live in this big house. It's way better than that crappy little shack we've got. Lin Chen, if you don't open this door right now, I will break it down. Don't test me. We came all this way to look after your place, and this is the attitude we get? I stood behind the door and took a deep breath. In my past life, I would have screamed right back at them, and they would have just dug in harder. But this time, I know. Arguing with these people is pointless. I'm going to lift them up high, and then drop them. Uncle, Auntie, what's going on? I was just inside packing up when I didn't hear you knock. You guys came all the way to house sit? That's honestly perfect. Now that's more like it. I kept saying, you're a young guy, you're busy in the city. A place this big needs a senior around to keep things in order. Uncle, look, consider this place yours. Whatever room you want, it's yours. Honestly, having you here saves me from hiring security. I watched them swarm in like they were raiding the place. Eyes lit up, hands all over my leather sofa. Wang Kuiwa didn't waste a second. She plopped herself right down at the head seat like she owned the house. Watching their greedy, smug faces, I smiled. They pulled this same stunt in my past life. Back then, I refused to open the door. Figured they'd give up and go back to their dump. Then I left for the city the next day to handle business. The second I was gone, they punched a hole right through the courtyard wall, crawled in, and waltzed into my villa with all their stuff like they owned the place. When the neighbors asked, my aunt puffed out her chest and told everyone I was such a devoted son that I personally brought them here to enjoy the good life. Since everyone in the village knew we were family, nobody questioned it. And just like that, these squatters claimed my home as their own turf. My uncle's family was greedy and dumb. Once they moved in, the masks came right off. My uncle dug out my custom suits worth tens of thousands and wore them to plow the fields. My aunt grabbed my premium wine and stayed up half the night braising ribs with it. And that spoiled little brat Lin Xiaobao? He scooped the prize koi out of my pond, or worth over $1 million, and grilled them like street food. But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst? My aunt decided the rare orchids in my high-tech greenhouse were in the way, ripped them all out and fed them to the pigs, grumbling they were just weeds taking up space, and saying she'd rather plant green onions.